Namo Amida Buddha. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been going through changes. That's why I took down a few videos. When you're struggling to resolve issues within yourself, sometimes it's hard to look all happy and peaceful. But once you start to step into that peace, once you start to experience and to see within yourself the positive results of the work you've been doing to heal, that's when I knew it was time to make another video. I just finished making one on my other channel, Joe Sheen, the Buddhist Vegan. And so I've been wanting to come on my main channel, my Buddhist channel, and talk about what I've been going through. I had some health issues I had to deal with. I had bullying that I'm still dealing with, ageist bullying. It's odd, in our society, people feel that if you're not like them, if you don't look like them, if you're not their age, if you're not from their age group, if you don't have the same upbringing or whatever, they have a right to devalue you, to strip you of your dignity, destroy your reputation through lies, through gaslighting, through constant devaluation, that is, putting you down in the presence of others. You know, it says a lot about society and how they treat their children, their animals, and their old people. And right now, we're here in the United States, I think worldwide, are on the verge of total change. People have gone so far into the darkness that they crave the light. For me, the light is Amitabha Buddha. For me, the light is the infinite joy and peace that I choose to lean into. I know that I am saved by Amitabha Buddha. That's what Shinjin is. I know that by entrusting myself to him, the moment I did that, I had reached the stage of non-retrogression. And I realized when that took place in my life, and it's never gone away and it never will go away. I know that in this life I will be unenlightened, a bamboo, a spiritual idiot. And I'm okay with that. That's where I'm at. This is the Dharma ending age of Mappo. But I also know that in my next life, I will be a fully enlightened Buddha. I also know, according to the scriptures, that as a servant of Shakyamuni Buddha, through Amida Buddha and my devotion to Amida Buddha, that I have the protection of many unseen beings who have devoted themselves to the Buddha and to the Dharma and to the Sangha. This is real. This is not mythology. This is not fantasy. And knowing this, I find strength from this. In the midst of a society that is ageist and ignorant and abusive and prone to images of violence and the eating of the flesh of tortured and murdered animals. But change is coming. Make no mistake. Anyone well acquainted with history knows that many leaders rise to create their new world orders. This has been going on way before Alexander the Great. Xerxes pronounced himself king of the world. The Romans were going to conquer the world. China, in their national anthem, said, one day we will rule the world. In America, we sing, we are, rockets, red glare, bombs bursting in air, in the land of the free, in the home of the brave. We're not, I'm sorry. I had been doing some serious inner work on why I encounter narcissists and narcissistic abuse. It has forced me to go within myself and to look unflinchingly at my past. And instead of just bitching in my videos about how I've been abused as a child, and it's valid. You have to face that. You have to call it what it is. And it was wrong. But I have to look back and see how I was a participant in that sick dance, in that toxic, abusive, narcissistic environment. I was no angel. We were all very toxic, dysfunctional. It was a dysfunctional dynamic. But toward the end of my life, I choose not to focus on toxic people, either living or dead. Either those I have gone no contact with, or those who I have to encounter on a day-to-day basis, whether in society, at the grocery store, at work, co-workers, customers, it doesn't matter. People on the bus. I have to choose who I give my energy to, who I give my empathy to. I have to decide if I'm going to live feeling exhausted, depleted, angry, resentful, bitter, or if I'm going to choose to walk in the light of Amida and share that light through love and empathy toward those who are receptive toward that light and love. And I'm not just talking about converting people to Buddhism or Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. I'm talking about how I conduct myself in my daily life, how I choose to interact with, and the people I interact with. And a lot of this is influenced by my sensei and friend Josho Adrian Kirlia and his recent walk to a Buddhist stupa in Romania. He chronicles all the kind, empathetic people he encounters along the way. He receives compassion from them. And he gives compassion back. This is the way of the Buddhas. This is the way of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We are to be inspired by the message of the Buddhas. I have chosen to realize that I am not a victim, and I refuse to live like a victim. I refuse to allow ignorant assholes to stomp on me because it's fun. It's fun to beat up on an old man. And as of the making of this video, I'm in my mid-60s. I celebrated my 65th birthday, September the 15th. I'm going to be that happy old man who people see as a kind, loving, gentle soul. A gentle person. A compassionate, loving person. A quiet, peaceful person. Not someone who is constantly spouting bullshit, saying things that may hurt people, causing dysfunction, causing chaos. I am choosing to realize that I have rights as a human being. I deserve to be treated with respect. And therefore, it is up to me, as a practicing Buddhist, as a vegan, as a person who chooses to walk in the light and love of Amitabha Buddha, to practice that love. Now I'm still healing, I'm still working on myself. That's not going to stop. But I felt today was the day that I was in a good place to make a video. It wasn't so much with the videos I deleted last month. I felt obligated to make videos, but I wasn't in a good place, and that showed. I got comments from members of my Sangha about, you got this beautiful message, but you look depressed. And I was overwhelmed. That's okay. I deleted those videos. I looked at them. I had to admit, yeah, that's true. But I can't be fake. And that's a good thing. I'm an empath. I cannot be fake. I can't fake sincerity. Sincerity is who I am. I gotta be me. I gotta be real. Even if that reel is screwed up. When I make these videos, you get me 100%. And I don't think it would be fair to give you anything less. I'm not an influencer. I'm Dave. I'm Shaku Joshin, my Dharma name. I am pure faith, and that faith is pure. And I can't tell you about my pure faith if I'm spouting bullshit or wearing a mask or supporting a false image. And you're part of my journey. You're with me on this journey. That's why I make these videos, to share with you who I am and how living a life devoted to Amitabha Buddha affects me. And I do so honestly. And so that's why it's taken a while, because I've done some hardcore work on myself. I mean, I've really gone deep within myself and looked at some of the darker aspects of my life, my past, things I've been through that I had stuffed down and refused to face. And I'm a better person for it. I think you can tell from my attitude in this video. I'm starting to experience the good karma. I'm starting to experience and benefit from experiencing the healing. Now, does this mean I'm going to reach a stage in my life where I'm on the threshold of enlightenment, or I'm going to be enlightened? No, I'm not talking about enlightenment. I'm talking about Dave. I'm talking about Shaku Joshin. I'm talking about my life. Because I'm not just here to talk about doctrine. This is not as much a doctrinal channel as it is a channel about what living a life as a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist is about. I'm giving you my perspective in all honesty and sincerity about how and why I live this life. devoted to Amida Buddha. And the main reason is the primal vow, the vow that I accepted on that day before work, dressed in my work clothes, when I was preparing a meal out of, venison sausage, when it suddenly hit me. Amida is a real Buddha. The Pure Land is a real place, and I know this. I am a person of Shinjin. That never left me. And you will know once you receive Shinjin, you are a person of non-retrogression. You will know at that moment, I will never go back. And because I'm a sincere person, because I'm an empathetic person, I cannot bullshit you with that phrase. I cannot make that statement as a selling point, as some marketing plan. That comes from me and from my heart to you. Shinjin is real. And I pity anyone who doesn't experience it. And I'm not talking about faith feelings. I'm talking about knowing. It's not about the feelings come and go, but the knowing that Amida, the living Buddha, gives to you never goes away. Once you know Amida is a real Buddha, once you know that the Pure Land is a real place and that Amida, through his primal vow, has saved you, you can never unsee that. You can never unknow that. You can never unfeel that. It is a part of you till the day you die in this realm. And though you may not jump for joy, you know that Amida's golden light surrounds you during this life, no matter what this life goes through. And even though I am a person of Shinjin, I'm not perfect. And so if I want to be happy in this world, I have to discover how to be happy in this world. Because this is the Saha realm of suffering and desire. And even though we are people of Shinjin, those of us who are people of Shinjin, we know we have to live and cope with our own unenlightened minds and emotions in this realm. That's why personal healing was important for me. That's why I decided it's not good enough for me. And I've always sought to get better and to heal, but I had a situation I'm not going to go into happen to me in my life that forced me to stop and realize either I'm going to learn to deal with the negative, horrible people of this world and understand why I attract these people and what makes them think they have the right to abuse me, or I'm going to die of a stroke or heart attack, or both. That's not how I want to die. That's not how I want to live my life, as someone who is a victim, abused, tormented, devalued. And so I studied, I found out about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I found out about bullying. I found out about what it's like to be one of the Briggs-Meyer personality types, an INFJ, and realizing that as an empath, I have to be careful about who I'm open with, who I give my energy to, who I let into my life. Now, through this channel, I share to the world and beyond the message of Amitabha Buddha. But as Dave, I have to realize that not everyone is like me. A lot of people are not compassionate. A lot of people are very dangerous, very childish, very undeveloped, very egocentric, very narcissistic, very insecure, very abusive. A lot of people are bullies, for whom compassion is something they cannot grasp, nor do they have any desire to grasp it. For whom relationships are contractual. People don't matter, it's what you can get from people that matters. That's how these people think. Narcissists and toxic people, bullies, are ignorant, stupid people with insecure, fragile egos that they need to support through tearing down and attacking others. Their life is about insincerity, not sincerity. Their life is not about showing you who they really are, and that's what I choose to do in these videos. Their life is about wearing multiple masks depending on the person and the situation. That is a shallow, one-dimensional shithole of a life. And I came to the conclusion that that's not anywhere near the life I choose to live. I've also chosen not to tolerate the abuse of such people. I have rights. And though I will not become an enlightened Buddha in this realm, I know that in my next life I will be an enlightened Buddha. I have value, I have worth, I have importance. I have years of experience that I know can help other people. And I choose to share that with you. Because whoever you are watching this, I want you to know I do care about you. I've never met you, most likely. Some of you I have, but most of you I haven't. But that doesn't change the fact that I love you. I love you because you're seeking growth. If nothing else, you're curious about a different perspective. You're curious about the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. You're curious about healing. You're curious about walking in the light. And so I ask you to seek the light of Amitabha Buddha. Ask Amitabha Buddha to guide you. Ask Amitabha Buddha to lead you. He will, I promise you. I promise you. I'm living proof of that, and I ask him to guide me every single day. Sometimes it's before this altar. Most of the times it's when I go on my Nimbutsu walks before work, where I have these prayer beads in my hand. And I will walk saying Namo Amida Butsu, or Namo Amitofo, or Namo Aida Fat, or Namo Amitabha. Because remember, it doesn't matter how you say the name of Amida Buddha, but say the name of Amida Buddha. And I would suggest that you say not just Amitofu Amida, but Namo. Because Namo means I entrust myself to, I pay homage to. That is the primal vow. That is entrusting yourself to Amida Buddha. So entrust yourself to Amida Buddha. Say his name in faith and ask him to guide you. That is very important. Because there is no greater wisdom than the wisdom of the Buddhas. This wisdom transcends our ignorance, our childishness, our weakness, our insecurities, our self-doubts. Receiving Shinjin isn't about us being perfect and free of all doubts. Receiving Shinjin is about entrusting in Amida Buddha, saying his name in faith and wishing to be born in his pure land, and then after saying that name in gratitude, knowing that we have received Shinjin. And only you can know, honestly, if you've received Shinjin. Don't focus on the fact that you may not have received Shinjin yet. Don't worry about it. Don't obsess about it. Because obsessing about this is feeding the doubt, and that keeps a lot of people from receiving Amida's gift of Shinjin. Just ask him to guide you. That's what I did, and he did. And finally, I decided to throw my doubts to the wind and say, okay, Amida, if you're real, you will bring me to Shinjin because you hear me, because you're an enlightened Buddha, and I'm not. Guess what, guys? It happened. Spoiler alert. It's been many, many, many years. I'm still a person of Shinjin. And I can tell you as I grow closer and closer toward the end of this life, in this Saha realm of suffering and desire, I will always be a person of Shinjin. I cannot retrogress. I promise you that. So once again, thank you for your patience. I know it's been a long time between videos. But thank you for being my friends. Thank you, all of you, for your support, for your love, and for your compassion. Focus on that compassion. Walk in the light and love of Amida Buddha, and seek to show that light to the world. Namo Amida Butsu. Thanks, guys. I love you. Have a great